In this problem, we're going to be looking at the number of numbers between any two decimals. Okay, so the problem says show that between any two terminating decimal, there is another terminating decimal. Okay, so we're going to prove this by starting with these two decimals, and terminating means that they don't go on forever. So 0.1 and 0.2, find the decimal halfway in between. Okay, to do this, you simply find the average or the midpoint between those two numbers. So part A, we just find the average. So the average can be found by doing x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Okay, so that will be 0.1 plus 0.2 divided by 2, and that will be 0.3 divided by 2. Now, if you don't have a calculator, you can move the decimal places over, but it's probably just easier to think of it this way. 0.3 could be 0.30, and then take half of 0.30. Half of 30 is 15. Okay, so that will be 0.15. And here's the calculator to show that that's true. 0.3 divided by 2. That's 0.15. Okay, so we found the terminating decimal between these two decimals. It's 0.15. So that's the answer to A. Now it says using that answer, find the terminating decimal between 0.1 and the answer to question A. This is the answer to question A. So what's the terminating decimal between 0.1 and 0.15? Okay, so that would, we'll use the same formula. So it'll be 0.1 plus 0.15 divided by 2. Okay, so that's going to be 0.25 divided by 2. And this one may be a little harder to see, but if we put a 0 on the end, we can think of it as 250, and half of 250 is 125. Okay, so 0.125 is the decimal between that, and here's the calculator to show that that is true. So 0.25 divided by 2 is 0.125. There it is. Now you can see it. Okay, so answer or letter C says using that answer, find the terminating decimal between 0.1 and the answer to question B. So we're doing it again. Okay, so we take 0.1 and we add it to 0.125, divide that by 2. So that will be equal to 0.225 divided by 2. Okay, put a 0 on the end. That will make that easier. So what is half of 2,250? Well, that would be 1,125. Okay, and here, and this is how you write it right here with the decimal in the same place. Here's the calculator to prove that it's right. So 0.225 divided by 2 is 0.1125. Okay, now question D. Can this be done forever, or will it be impossible to do at some point? Okay, well, I can't see any reason why we can't keep adding 0.1 to this and dividing it by 2 and getting a new answer. Okay, we'll get smaller and smaller numbers, but we will continue to get answers forever. So what does that mean? Well, that means that in between, now write this down, between 0.1 and 0.2, there are an infinite number of numbers. Okay, so this number is between those two, this number is between those two, this number is between those two, and you can keep doing that forever. And it's not just 0.1 and 0.2, it's any two terminating decimals. You can always add them up, divide by 2, and get the midpoint of those two decimals forever. Okay, so between any two numbers, there are an infinite amount of other numbers.